Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Wherever you're at in the world, welcome to Last Drafts Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Today, we are going to be bringing you the third game in the three-game set between the Yokohama DeNA BayStars and the Hiroshima Carp. Carp are looking to complete the sweep here at the BayStars today on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Hiroshima at the Mazda Stadium. We are going to give you the starting lineups, first of all, from the visitors, the Yokohama DeNA BayStars. Leading off and playing in center field tonight, wearing number 58 is Koki Kajiwara. Batting second at second base is number 2, Shugo Maki. Heading third at first base tonight is number 26, Masaki Momori. And the cleanup spot and playing third base is number 51, Toshiro Miyazaki. Hitting fifth and left field is number 7, Kaida Sano. Batting in the sixth spot and doing the catching is number 5, Shion Matsuo. Batting in the seventh spot and in right field is number 61, Tetsuo Ibina. Hitting eighth and playing shortstop is number 6, Kaido Mori. And batting ninth and doing the pitching is number 59, Kintaro Taira. And they are going to be facing Shohei Mori, who takes to the hill for the Carp. He is 1-0. He's worked 7 innings this year. He's allowed 2 hits, no runs. He has walked 2 and struck out 5 as he takes to the hill for the Carp. Now your starting lineups for the home team from Hiroshima. Leading off and playing in center field, wearing number 37 is Takayoshi Noma. Batting second and playing shortstop is number 4, Masaya Yano. Hitting third and playing third base is number 5, Kaito Kazono. And the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 60, Shinsuke Tamura. Hitting fifth and right field is number 52, Shota Sekene. Hitting sixth and left field is number 61, Sandro Fabian. Batting seventh at second base, wearing number 33 is Ryosuke Kikuchi. Batting eighth and doing the catching is number 32, Tomoki Ishihara. And batting ninth and doing the pitching is Shohei Mori. And Mori, as they are going to be facing today for the BayStars, Kintaro Taira. He worked 5 innings in his season debut, allowing 4 hits, no runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts, pacing himself to a victory as well for the BayStars. Well, those are your starting lineups. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the first pitch as Mori is on the hill starting his tune-up tosses, and we'll be right back after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Drops Baseball YouTube channel.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Drops Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Drops Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the BayStars who are coming to bat to lead it off here. It'll be Kajiwara, Maki, and Momori to face the starter Shohei Mori of the Carp, as they are ready to get this one. High skies and beautiful sunshine today for this one, as it is a bit of a half-hour earlier start than yesterday's game, as a 1:30 local time. So Mori's completed his warm-up tosses, and we are ready to get this one underway, as it'll be the center fielder Kajiwara coming to the bat here to lead it off. He is hitting .324, as he's got a homer and 3 RBIs, and the first pitch from the lefty Mori is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and we are underway in Hiroshima. So Jiffy Bacon says, did this game start yet? Yep, that was the first pitch right there. Here's the offering. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to second. fielded by Kikuchi, who throws to first. And Kajiwara is going to be retired on a ground out, 4-3 for the first out of the inning. So one up and one away, and that'll bring up the second baseman in Shugo Maki. Jiffy says tonight, who do we have winning this game? Well, I'd like to think that the Carp are going to complete the sweep here. We didn't do our picks the last couple of days. We've been fairly tied up and busy. But I think the Carp are going to run the table here and get themselves a early season sweep against the BayStars, which is a little bit of a strange piece because the Carp had some issues in scoring runs, but enter the BayStars, and they've scored 8 runs in each of the last 2 games against them, 16 in total. There's a fastball that is swung through and missed, and the count is 0-1 to Maki. Maki hitting .229 on the season, a couple of homers and 7 RBIs. Batting from the right side here against the left-handed throwing Mori, who kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that flutters outside for a ball, and the count is 1-1. It was a topsy-turvy game last night. Looked like the Carp had it in the bag, and then the 9th inning showed up when the BayStars stuck 5 on the board to take the lead in the top of the 9th. As that breaking ball is waved at and missed, the count now goes to 1-2 on Maki. And of course, the Carp scored one to even the score in the bottom of the 9th, and then they walked it off with a sayonara home run in the 11th inning. As that fastball misses up and away, and the count goes to 2-2 on Maki. 2 balls and 2 strikes as the lefty again gets the sign from his catcher. It's Ishihara again behind the plate today. And the pitch is on the way. It is a breaking ball swung on, grounded to short. Yano fields it on the run, and he fires to first. Nice play there by the ground out, 6-3. He's in the books for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Masaki Momori. Well, for Momori, he's hitting .333 in the early going. No homers and an RBI. But he does have himself 4 stolen bases, so flashing his wheels here with his new ball club, the former Fukuoka SoftBank Hawk, only 26 years old. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. 7 for 21 is Momori on the early going here. As the left-hander delivers, it's a breaking ball swung on, grounded softly over to second. Kikuchi fields it, he throws to first, and that is going to retire Momori on a ground out, 4-3. And we have a very quick first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board here for the BayStars in their half of the first inning. Your score, Yokohama 0, and Hiroshima coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few with all the action right after this. Appreciate you guys for listening in with us on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of inning number 1. It'll be Noma, Yano, and Kazono to come to bat here to face Taira in the first inning. As Noma will come to the dish. The Carper in their home whites today with the traditional home whites with the red trim and the red numbering, the easy to read numbers as opposed to the red jerseys with the red numbers on red. BayStars are in their blue tops with the white pants, as they are trying to salvage a victory out of this series here, as they lost the first two to the Carp. And so it'll be Noma coming to bat here, who's hitting .222 in the early going, no homers and a couple RBIs. We will post up our schedule for the games later in the week, in the next couple of days. So hopefully you guys keep the eyes on the schedule, and we'll see what we have to offer. Here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0 to Noma. Defensively tonight for the BayStars from left to right field. In the left field, it'll be Sano. The center fielder is Kajiwara, and the right fielder is Abina. As that fastball catches the inside corner, and the count runs even to 1-1. Around the horn from first to third, Momori is at first, Maki is at second. The shortstop is Mori, and at third base, Miyazaki, with Taira and Matsuo as the battery. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner. Take it for a called strike. The count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pretty good crowd in Hiroshima for this one. There is some open seats up in near the visitors section. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. It was in the dirt, so they have to pick it up and fire to first. That's going to be a strikeout. 2-3 recorded on the putout for out number 1 here in the bottom of the first inning, and that'll bring up the shortstop in Masaya Yano. A little bit of an earlier start than yesterday. Yesterday was a 2 o'clock local time. Today, 1:30. I wonder what the justification for that would be. I know it's a getaway game, obviously, for the BayStars. So here comes the first pitch to Yano. It is a fastball swung on, its chopped foul behind home plate, and the count is quickly 0-1. I guess we'd have to ask the schedule makers what was in their mind when laying out the grid for the season. So no balls and 1 strike to Yano. As Tyra delivers, there's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. As we mentioned, both pitchers had a success in their opening round games, not conceding any runs as the 0-2 is on the way. There's a fastball that just misses inside. Count goes to 1-2. By the looks of it tonight, neither of these two pitchers are particularly overpowering or haven't shown overpowering stuff. But it looks like they're able to stay around the zone and locate pretty well. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball swung on, chopped, just foul, and it rolls foul up the first baseline, where it is retrieved by the catcher Matsuo, and the count remains at 1-2 to Yano. We will keep you updated on the scores for around the NPB, as there were other games that have gone underway just a little bit earlier tonight. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the right-hander Tyra rocks into the delivery, and there's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into shallow center field. Coming over underneath it is Kajiwara. He's there to make the catch. And Yano is in the books for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone here, and that's going to leave it up to the third baseman, Kaito Kazono. Well, for Kazono, he's hitting .360 in the early going. No homers and a couple RBIs. Off to a good start. Pretty much the everyday third baseman is the 24-year-old. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. You think about it, a couple of years ago, it was Matt Davidson holding down the position at third for quite a bit of the year. So the Carp are relying on a domestic player to hold that position down, as that fastball misses down and away, and the count goes even at 1s. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Kazono waggling the bat as the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count now goes to 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. As I said, a little bit shocking that the BayStars have been the right tonic for the Carp with all the runs being scored here in this series. There's a breaking ball that misses down. It's now 3-1 to Kazono. Carp were shut out, I believe it was 5 times in the exhibition series, including 3 games in a row. Struggling to find their offense, but it has shown up here in this series. There's a fastball that's taken center cut for a called strike, and the count now goes full to Kazono. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is. Again, the right-hander ready to go. He kicks and he delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded to the right side of the infield, and it gets past the glove and underneath Shugo Maki, and that is going to be a base hit here for Kazono. So he's going to get himself aboard with 2 gone, and that's going to bring Shinsuke Tamura to the plate. I do believe that will be ruled a base hit. He had the range to his left into the outfield grass, but I guess my criticism of that play is that he didn't get the glove down enough. And Maki needed to be able to at least knock it down or keep it in front to give himself a chance. So Kazono is the runner at first. Tamura at the plate here. Batting .455 in the early going. Absolutely on fire. 5 for 11 with a homer and 3 RBIs. And the pitch is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Tamura getting the nod at first base tonight and hitting in the cleanup spot as he waits here on the offering from the right-hander Taira. Pitch on the way. Fastball just misses low, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Again, Tamura waggling the bat, waiting here on the offering. As the right-hander works himself into the set position. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, chopped softly back to the pitcher. Taira has to come off the mound to field it. He fires to first. It's going to be a ground out 1-3 to end the inning. No runs in the inning. There was the hit by Kazono. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 1 complete. It is the BayStars nothing and the Carp nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit. We appreciate you guys for listening in with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a few. We got a 0-0 ball game, and we'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is Carp BayStars locked at 0s. We'll be right back. Everybody, it is going to be the heart of the batting order to come to bat here for the BayStars. That means Miyazaki, Asano, and Matsuo to face the lefty Shohei Mori. Mori was able to escape the first inning in pretty economical way, as by our count, he only had 9 pitches, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Miyazaki. Lefty still has yet to give up a run in 8 innings of work now. Fastball that is just below the knees, and the count now goes to 1-1. Mori is definitely not overpowering. That last fastball was at 89 miles an hour on our radar gun. As the 1-1 pitch is on the way, he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's bounced right back to the pitcher, Mori. He fields his position well, and he throws to first. It's going to go in the books as a ground out 1-3. So 1 BayStar up and 1 BayStar down here in inning number 2, and that'll bring up the left fielder in Kaida Sano. Well, for Sano, he's hitting .280 in the early going. He's got no homers and 3 runs batted in. Batting from the left side here against the left-handed throwing Mori. as he gets himself set in the batter's box. Here comes the first offering on the way. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1. Defensively tonight for the Carp, we didn't get to them in the first inning because it went so quickly. From left to right field, it is Fabian in left. The center fielder is Noma, and the right fielder is Sekene. With a fastball taken for a called strike, the count now goes to 0-2. Around the horn from first to third, it'll be Tamura at first, Kikuchi at second. Yano is the shortstop with Kazono at third. The battery of Mori and Ishihara. So here comes the 0-2 offering as the lefty works himself set, now delivers. Breaking ball swung on and missed. And Sano is in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. 3 straight strikes. First strike of the night recorded by Mori. I'm not sure what Sano was thinking there. He went back to the home plate umpire. Maybe he was asking him if he thought it was a strike or not. Pitch looked like it was up and away as he went for a bit of a fish. So here's the first pitch, breaking ball delivered to Matsuo, taken for a called strike, counts 0-1. For Cheyenne Matsuo, he is hitting 143 with a homer and 1 RBI in the early going. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty Mori working himself to the set. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line as it reaches the seats. Count now goes to 1-2. BayStars Carp, final game of the series. Beautiful day in Hiroshima for baseball. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded softly to short. Yano fields it. He throws to first, and Matsuo is gone on a ground out, 6-3 for the third out of the inning. And the BayStars go quietly again here in their half of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We are through 1.5. It is the BayStars no score and the Carp no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit after this. We're going to go grab ourselves another beverage. We'll be back to give you all the calls in just a few. Stay with us. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters to come to bat here for the Carp in their half of inning number 2. Sekene, Fabian, and Kikuchi to face the right-hander Taira. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us tonight. As we said, we are planning on some more games coming up here in the next little bit, as we will be adding to our schedule. So hopefully you guys can check that out as it becomes available. So this is going to be bringing to the plate here Shota Sekene. He's batting .308 on the early going with a couple of homers and 5 RBIs. As he bats from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Taira. And now the right-hander gets his sign. The umpire says play, and we're ready to go. As Taira rocks himself into the windup and delivers, there's a first pitch fastball that's taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Wind is blowing from right to left here tonight, or this afternoon, I should say, in Hiroshima. Fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike. Count is 0-2. Beautiful day for baseball. Many of the coaches are still cool enough that they're wearing their jackets. The players they have sleeves, but some of them are 3/4 sleeves as that pitch misses down and away, and the count is 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Right-hander Tyra kicks and delivers. There's a off-speed pitch that misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. It looked like it was a changeup down in the dirt. You don't always see a lot of changeups. Some pitchers will throw them in the Japanese league, but you don't see that as a regular option. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded up the middle, and it's going to get through into center field. I think Tyra felt that maybe he seemed to pull back the hand there, not wanting to field it. Sometimes when pitchers go after the ball, they have a feeling that they're going to hit it or deflect it, so they just leave it for the fielders to go up the middle. That's what it looked like from Tyra, but there was nobody up the middle there to field it. So Sekeni is aboard with a leadoff single here in the second. That's the second hit for the Carp tonight. And that is going to bring up the left fielder, Sandro Fabian. Fabian hitting .240 on the season. He's got a homer and 3 runs batted in. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1. As we mentioned, neither of these two pitchers are overpowering particularly, but they do have some good command of their pitches. One pitch to Fabian forthcoming as it's on its way. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. Actually, looked like a breaking ball. It was actually a split finger pitch that Tyra had gone down very low 3/4. Your traditional split finger pitch. Fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count goes now to 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander working himself to the set position, checks the runner at first. And the 1-2 on the way to Fabian. There is a fastball swung on it, is lifted into left center field. This ball could be trouble. It's going to get down. It's going to get cut off before it goes to the wall. Rounding second and heading into third is Sekeni. And Fabian has got himself a double, and that's going to put runners at second and third with nobody out. And the Carp are splashing their tails right now as they've got 2 runners in scoring position and nobody out here in inning number 2. And that is going to bring up the second baseman, Ryosuke Kikuchi. Well, for Kikuchi, he's batting $1.43 on the season, no homers and a couple RBIs. As he comes to bat here to face the right-hander Tyra for the first time. So big opportunity here for the Carp to cash in with a couple of runs. BayStars, interesting, they're halfway in the middle and their corners are in. And the first pitch is swung on, his chop slowly over to third. They're going to have to hurry to get Kikuchi, and Miyazaki fires across the diamond, and it retires Kikuchi. Not a very productive at bat. Ground out 5-3 for the first out of the inning. Runners can't go anywhere. They have to hold. That is going to bring up the catcher, Tomoki Ishihara. Well, for Ishihara, he is hitting .231. Nothing across the slash line yet. 3 for 13 in the early going here. But he too has an opportunity to try to cash in a run here. That's the other part. If ground ball up the middle would have got you the run, as the defense is a little bit deeper there. They're trading runs for the outs. As that pitch misses down, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Ishihara. So 1 ball and no strikes. Right-handed hitting, Ishihara digs himself in, waiting on the offering from the right-hander. And the pitch on the way, it's a breaking ball. Oh, he took something off that one, did Tyra. Nice piece of pitching. It's now evened up at 1-1 as Ishihara had swung through that pitch. Way out in front. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Our friend Scott Fletcher in the house tonight says it's a nice surprise. Glad he could join us. So 1 ball and 1 strike as Ishihara waits here on the offering. It is a fastball that misses down and away. Count now goes to 2-1 on Ishihara. Runners didn't advance on that one. So 2 balls and 1 strike it is. Runner at third is Sekeni. Runner at second is Fabian. One out here in the second inning. Carp are looking to draw first blood. Taira getting his sign from his catcher Matsuo, and he's ready to go back to work. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. It is a split finger pitch that's swung on, and it's fouled right off the catcher Matsuo as he hops around a little bit. That pitch there, oh boy, that's what happens when you got catchers who catch off of one knee or they go down to one knee. Caught it just above the padding. 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. So as the catcher Matsuo shakes it off, we're ready to go back at it again. And the pitch from Taira on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded over to short. Fielded by Mori. He fires to first. But that's going to get the first run of the game. And for the Carp, it's going to be a ground out 6-3. So Ishihara does his job. He gets himself an RBI. He's gone for the second out. Sakeni comes in to score. Fabian holds at second base. And it is now a 1-0 lead here for the Carp. And it will bring the pitcher Shohei Mori to the plate. Our friend Ronald Rump in the house tonight. Welcome, welcome. We missed you last night. I don't think he popped in yesterday. That's going to bring Mori to the dish. He is 1 for 2 on the season. Batting from the left side here against the righty Taira, and he takes a fastball outside for ball. Count is 1-0. Carp last night fell behind early 2-0, and then they put 2 runs up on the board in 3 different innings, only to give it away in the 9th and have to come back and win it in the 11th. And it's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Mori. So 2 balls and no strikes. Taira again getting the side from his catcher. I think the Carp might be disappointed if they only get 1 run out of this. Here's a pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's a looping liner nabbed by the shortstop Mori. Off the bat of Mori. And that is going to do it here for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, there was 1 run to end the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. Your scores were now through 2 complete. It is the Carp 1 and the BayStars no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in a little bit with all the action. We appreciate you guys for jumping in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after these. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the bottom third of the batting order to come to bat for the BayStars. That means Zabina, Mori, and Taira. They face the left-hander Mori. Our friend Ronald Rump says, do we have any updates on Trevor Bauer? You mentioned he was on their injured list or their version. He gets sent down. I don't know if they necessarily have an injured list other than they take you off the active roster. From what I could gather is he's going to miss a couple of starts. So he missed this turn this week and probably one next week. I didn't think it was anything particularly serious, but they didn't really update. By the sound of it, it sounded it was probably a leg or a lower body type of issue. Maybe tweaked the hamstring or had an issue with the calf muscle, but didn't sound like it was arm related. Although I have to say that he did do a piece on his Bauer outage page on YouTube. And I started watching it, and then I had to turn away, and then I never got back to it. So kind of the explanation of why he got sent down to the minors this week. But we'll see what happens. Maybe more conditioning than anything else. So Abina coming to bat here. He is hitting .067 on the season. No homers and 1 run driven in. And he takes a fastball inside for ball 1. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Lefty Maury kicks and delivers again. There is a fastball taken on the outside corner, and the count goes even at 1-1. As I said, it's interesting watching Maury pitch here. Not the most overpowering, but very effective the way that he changes speeds. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, the left-hander ready to go. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Abina. Again, Maury ready to go at it. Abina struggling at the plate. Breaking ball swung on. This is going to be lifted foul into the seats down the right field line. Count remains at 2-2. I was talking about Abina, and I was saying that he probably wasn't going to make the BayStars team out of spring training, but it was Taiki Sekene who ended up getting hurt in an exhibition game toward the end, and it ended up that he ended up being out injured for a while, and it gave Abina a second life, but he hasn't been able to take advantage of it as he swings through a fastball. And he's gone for the first out of the inning on strikes, so 1 up and 1 away. It's going to bring up the shortstop, Kaito Mori. Also, something interesting so far here from the pitcher Maury. All 5 of the outs that have been put in play have been on the ground. So 5 ground ball outs, nothing in flight as of yet. The first pitch from Maury is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Maury batting from the left side, hitting 174, and he fouls that one off behind home plate. It's now no balls and 2 strikes to Maury. Hitting 174 with no homers and 3 runs driven in. Maury did have a rough night last night. He made an error that ended up leading to a 2-run homer. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. It's in the dirt. Shihara has to get up and throw to first, and that is going to retire Maury. It's going to go as a strikeout, but 2-3 on the putout. That's going to be the 3rd strikeout of the ball game recorded by Maury. Being Shohei Maury. We got a couple of Maurys in the game. That's going to bring up the pitcher, Kentaro Taira. The first pitch to Taira is a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1. If you ever saw a pitcher that was any more disinterested in hitting, it would be Taira with that first pitch that he saw. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch is a fastball that misses upstairs. The count now goes to 2-1. Ronald Rumpsteady, I just saw he posted that video. I'll have to watch it tonight. Yeah, they have a second team, a knee gun farm team. And basically the way it works is they've got 70 players on professional contracts, and then you have some players on development or, tryout type contracts. As that fastball is taken at the ease for 2-2 count. So 70 players that are signed to professional roster or professionally. And so you have your first team, and then you got everybody else goes down to the farm team. Fastball swung on and missed. Taira down on strikes. Maury strikes out the side. BayStars go in order 1, 2, 3 here, and it's 9 up and 9 down here for Yokohama. And this one against Shohei Maury. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're now moving to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. It's the Carp 1 and the BayStars. No score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this from our friend, Steve Rademacher.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy, sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the top of the order to come to bat here to face the right-hander Kentaro Taira in inning number 3 for the Carp. It'll be Noma, Yano, and Kazono. So he is just completing his tune-up tosses. One thing that you notice about the Pacific League to the Central League, it is a little bit longer in between inning breaks in the Central League. Some of that has to do with the pitchers who, when they do bat, they take a little bit extra longer time. Sometimes if they're on deck, they got to gear down and gear back up to go out into the field. Don't have that issue in the Pacific League as they don't bat. So here comes Noma to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out to begin the ball game. Batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Taira, who kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Taira does use a lot of hesitation in his deliveries as the right-hander kicks and double clutches and delivers. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Noma. Noma really has an interesting bat. He's got almost a mushroom handle at the bottom. Fastball swung on and chopped foul right into Noma. Count is 1-2. I remember I had a customer a few years ago that used to be an avid bat collector. And he had a bat from the early 1900s of a player who played with the New York Giants. And he was all about the handles, a mushroom handle, the different ones. This one here, I don't know if it's so much a mushroom, but it's really wide across the bottom. Sometimes players like to have it differently, but interesting here. Noma does choke up on the bat with 2 strikes. Pitch on the way. It is a fastball swung on. It is going to be knifed over the head of the shortstop. Down into left field. It is fielded by Sano. And Noma, a good piece of hitting as he's able to go the other way. He's got himself a single, and that's going to bring up the shortstop in Masaya Yano. I always look for noticeable changes in batters in their approach that they do from their early part in the count to when they get to 2 strikes. And that was certainly with Noma there. You notice that he did choke up. I think a Katsuya Kakanaka with the Marines, just how wide he really gets in his stance, takes his stride out of the swing, starts himself in launch and load, and has himself ready to go as they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is Noma. There's physical adjustments, there's mental adjustments, and then there's no adjustments depending on who the hitter might be. And squaring to bunt is Yano, but he pulls back at the last moment as that pitch misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Carp and BayStars here, bottom half of inning number 3. As the right-hander fires over to first and diving back in time as the runner Noma. They are concerned about Noma. Noma does not have a stolen base yet this year, but he can run a little bit. As the offering ready to come here to Yano. Pitch on the way. He squares to bunt and he pops it up. And it's going to go foul over toward the third base dugout. And the count is even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. One thing I am a bit slow on is us changing the innings. It's been a piece that we haven't been keeping up on here tonight, so apologize for that. A little bit on the tardy side. So here comes the 1-1 pitch as Yano ready to deliver. And it is bunted, and it is squared to bunt, and he bunts through it. And the count now goes to 1-2 on Yano. You have to think Yano trying to get the job done here, and he's not able to do it. He almost was outside the batter's box when he went to bunt that ball. His back foot right on the chalk line. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball swung on, grounded over to first. Double clutch by Mamori. They are going to get the lead runner over at second base. That is going to retire Yano, it's going to retire Noma on a fielder's choice. It's going to go 3-6. He's gone for the first out. Yano is going to be safe at first. That'll bring up the third baseman, Kaito Kizono. BVP in the house tonight. He says, I love these early starts. You got to like it. Ronald said, what's the local time for this game? It was a 1:30 in the afternoon start for this one here. Last night it was 2 o'clock. I'm always about the 1 or 1:30 starts. I like those ones. There's a fastball swung on and pop foul into the stands. So no balls and 1 strike to Kizono. Anytime we can get the early ones in, I love doing it because it makes it much easier to get up in the morning. So that would be usually 9 o'clock Pacific time or midnight Eastern. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Kizono. We are going to try to mix in some MLB games this week on the channel. We will do that a little bit later in the week. We're going to be out of town on the Monday. Going to be actually in Seattle to see the Astros and the Mariners. So here comes the 1-1 pitch as the right-hander holds set. Kicks and fires. It's a split finger pitch missing down. The count goes to 2-1. Trying to knock off some of those, but I'd like to try to get some MLB games in. I mean, when we do those, more than likely, except for Wednesday, I think Wednesday this week we could do a night game. I'll try to do the day games in the daytime, the getaway stuff. I'll have to see what the matchups are as it gets a little closer. There's a split finger pitch that is swung on and missed, and that's going to run the count even at 2-2. Very, very interesting. It's a low angle here from the pitcher, whether it's a breaking ball or a splitty. As I said, he comes really low 3/4, almost sidearm. And they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Yano. So Kizono, one of the hottest hitters in the lineup here for the Carp. As the right-hander again throws over to first. Oh, that was really, really close. Really, really close. That almost might be worth taking a look at. I want to see the replay of that again. They had Yano leading the wrong way. I can see why. That was a bit of a high tag. They got him up on the shoulder. If that would have been down around the hand, they might have had a pretty good opportunity to nail the runner diving back. There's a pitch. It is a down in the dirt. They throw down to second, and Yano is going to be banged out trying to steal. Not sure if it was a delay or if he read the ball down in the dirt, but he goes into the books caught stealing 2-6. Yeah, it looks like it was a delay on his part as we get the replay of that one. So 2 in the books here. And if it was indeed a delay, I'm not sure why you would delay somebody with some wheels. So with that last pitch in the dirt, here comes the offering to Kizono. It's a breaking ball that misses outside. It's going to be ball 4. He's going to draw himself a walk. So here we are back to where we started with a runner at first base, but this time with 2 gone. It's going to bring up Shinsuke Tamura to the plate. Full slate of games across the NPB tonight. And there is scoring in every single one of them. We'll get you caught up on that after this half inning. So Tamura stepping to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded it back to the pitcher his first time up. And now stepping off the backside of the rubber is Taira. He's going to cycle through the signs again with his catcher, Matsuo. Last night, if you came into the game last night, it was actually an incredible game, especially from a neutral standpoint. There is a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. Counts 0-1. If you were listening to the game, we did the BayStars and the Carp last night. BayStars jumped out to an early 2-0 lead in the first inning. Carp scored 2 runs 3 different times. In subsequent innings, had a 6-2 lead going to the 9th. As that fastball swung on and fouled away, it's now 0-2 to Tamura. And at the top of the 9th inning, the BayStars shoved 5 runs on the board to take a lead, 7-6, only to give that lead away in the bottom of the 9th as it ended up that the Carp had tied it up. Game went to extra innings, and the Carp walked it off in the bottom of the 11th with a sayonara home run to win the game. There's the 0-2 pitch, and his fastball swung on. It is lifted down the left field line, but it's going to slice foul into the seats, and the count remains at 1-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Tamura. One thing that is noticeable, or at least difference here, is Mori is much more economical in his pitches than Taira is. Taira already at 53 pitches in the 3rd. There's a fastball that misses outside. There goes the runner down to second. It's going to be a stolen base. It looked like that the catcher, Matsuo, had a hard time getting the ball out of his glove. He double clutched. And in fact, he dropped the ball. And so that is a stolen base here for Kazono. That's 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Tamura. So now the Carp got a runner in scoring position with 2 gone. Base hit here, they can punch him across. That's his first stolen base of the year for Kazono. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. And the pitch is down in the dirt, and a nice stop there by the catcher, and the count goes to 2-2. Our Filipino friend in the house, and he says the Swallows and Dragons are even so far. It's still early on in pretty much all the games. I think there were some games that started at 1, some at half past, and some at 2. There are only 1 or 2 that got underway at 2, and there's already scoring in those. So here comes the 2-2 pitch as the right-hander holds to the set. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on, grounded softly to short. Mori circles, fields it, throws to first, and it's off the bag. And then safe at first base is going to be Tamura. We're going to have to see how they're going to score it. I think they're probably going to give that as an infield single. Stopping at 3rd will be Kazono. Mori had to get around the ball at short. Did the best he could, threw it on the run, but it was up the line. And I'm just looking here, and no, I don't think they would have made the play even if it was on line. So we'll give them a single until the scorer tells us something different. But I got to tell you, I don't know if Tamura touched the base as he ran past the bag. If Mamori would have went after him and maybe tagged him, he might have got him out. I'd have to go and look at that replay again. So this brings Shota Sekeni to the plate. He has a single and has scored the Carp's only run this far. Hitting .357, 5 hits in the early going this year. As the first pitch from Tyre is a breaking ball missing down and away. Count is 1-0. At the rate that Tyre is going here, I wouldn't expect to see him much past the 5th inning. Not enough strikes and too many pitches. A recipe for disaster. He's been able to avoid a couple of issues already here. Let's see if he can get out of this one. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is hammered into left field. That's going to get a run in. Rounding second and stopping at second, looks like is the base runner. We're going to have to get a quick look at that. But an RBI single off the bat of Sekeni, his 2nd hit of the night. And the Carp have doubled their lead to 2-0. So as Cazono had come in with the second run, that brings Sandro Fabian to the plate. Fabian, 1-for-1 tonight. He had a double his first time up. So the former Texas Ranger farmhand getting his opportunity. We were not overly impressed with him in the exhibition season, but well, he did get to see him a couple of times. Defensively, not the greatest. And the first pitch on the way is a fastball that swung on. It's lifted foul down the first base line. Counts 0-1. Fabian has pulled his average up to 269 now on the season with that hit back in the second inning. So no balls, one strike. As we said, Tyra living a little bit dangerously here for the BayStars. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field. This ball could be trouble. It's going to get down between the outfielders as they collide in right center field. They have to hurry to get the ball back in, and that's going to cash in 2 runs as Sekeni is going to score all the way from first base. And the Carp again have doubled their lead to 4-0. So Fabian, with his second double of the night, he collects a pair of RBIs. The fielders in right center field, as the ball dropped, they ended up running into one another. And then the ball ended up hitting off of the shin of the right fielder, Ibina, and he had to go and pick it up. No error on that particular play. But you'd have to think that if they would have fielded that, maybe it would have prevented Sekeni from scoring all the way from first. So a 3 spot on the board here for the Carp, and it brings to the plate Ryusuke Kikuchi. As Kikuchi steps in here, ready to face the right-hander Tyra, and he takes a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Kikuchi grounded to third his first time up. As the right-hander holds himself to the set position, checks the runner at second, now delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's hammered into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And in to score comes Fabian. He's going to put up the 4th run of the inning on an RBI single off the bat of Kikuchi. And the Carp, all of a sudden out of nowhere, the offense has just exploded here in the series against the BayStars, as they have now themselves a 5-0 lead. And that is going to bring up the catcher, Tomoki Ishihara. Unbelievable. That is pretty impressive. Well, Ishihara, the 8th hitter to come to the plate here in the inning, standing in against the right-hander Tyra, who kicks and delivers. First pitch breaking ball over for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Ishihara did drive in the first run of the game with an RBI groundout. That brought home Sekeni in the second inning. Here's the 0-1. Fastball swung on, lifted into right center field. And that's going to be caught by the right fielder, Ibina, and that is going to do it. But they sent 8 hitters to the plate in the inning, do the Carp. There was 4 runs in the inning on the benefit of 5 hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. Your score, as we are now through a third of the ball game, it is the Carp 5 and the BayStars no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Time for us to refresh our beverage again. It's like we're going to be here for a bit. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the fourth inning, and Shohei Mori now has a 5-0 lead to work with. He has retired all 9 batters he has faced for the BayStars, as it'll be the top of the order, Koki Fujiwara, Shigomaki, and Masaki Momori to come to bat to face him here in inning number 4. Just taking a look at some of the highlights from this particular game. God is Great is in the house. We welcome you to the stream. Appreciate you for being here. As we thank you for that. And thank you for your patronage of our channel. We always appreciate you having come on in there, Titus. So the first pitch here on the way to Fujiwara, it's a fastball swung on, and it's hammered foul down the first base line, and the count is quickly 0-1. Ball's a 1-strike to Fujiwara. He grounded to second his first time up. As the pitch is a breaking ball that just misses outside, and the count goes even at 1-1. As we mentioned, beautiful day for baseball in Hiroshima. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. It stood Fujiwara straight up. I don't think he believed it, and I have to tell you, based on the replay, I'm not sure I believe it either, but it has to be true because the home plate umpire said so. So 1-2 it is. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on, and it's line foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on, grounded softly to first, bobbled by the first baseman, Tamura, who flips it to the pitcher covering. It is going to go down as a ground out. It goes 3-1 in the books. Now, he was fortunate there. I thought he was going to be able to take it himself, and then he had to hurry to make sure the pitcher had it covering, and that is going to retire Fujiwara. 10 in a row now retired by Mori. So that brings Shigomaki to the plate. Maki 0-for-1 tonight, grounded out to the shortstop his first time up. Takes a breaking ball over for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. We were mentioning 4 strikeouts in the ballgame for Mori, and he's got 6 ground ball outs. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. The count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. If the Carp were able to get a win tonight, it would just make everything all more tighter in the Central League. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. Moving over, moving back, and now camping out underneath it is the right fielder Sekene, who makes the catch. It's going to retire Maki for the second out of the inning. It's going to bring up the first baseman in Masaki Momori. Well, for Momori, he is officially 0-for-1 tonight. He grounded out to second his first time up. Off to a pretty good start with his new ball club. 7 for 22, hitting .318. As the lefty Mori delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. The first fly ball out recorded tonight by Mori. Everything else has been on the ground or via the strikeout. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Mori kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses up and in, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Now the 2-2 on the way. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is lined to the left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting by Momori. And that breaks the streak of 11 in a row retired by Shohei Mori. As Masaki Momori has got himself the first hit of the game for the BayStars. And that is going to bring up the third baseman, Toshiro Miyazaki. Well, for Miyazaki, 0 for 1 tonight, grounded to the pitcher his first time up. As Maury here ready to go back to work, enjoying that 5-0 lead here for the Carp. And now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Again, the left-hander Maury getting his sign. Works himself to the set. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and in. The count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. And the pitch from Maury on the way. It's a fastball. Take it for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-1. Just got a little hesitated there and drawn away from what we were looking at and clearing my throat. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Miyazaki digs himself in, ready to go again. And the pitch here is a fastball swung on. It's taken on 1 hop by the third baseman. Oh, what a great play over there by Kazono. A ball came up on him in a hurry. He made a great play and got up and fires out Miyazaki at first on a ground out 5-3 to end the inning. That right there is a web gem, and that's why the Carp are still in front here 5-0. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're moving to the last half of the fourth. It is a 5-0 lead for the Carp. We'll be back in just a few. But as we found out last night, 5-0 leads are not, or 5-run leads aren't particularly safe. We'll be back in just a little bit. Appreciate you guys for being here. We'll be right back after this.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just 1 roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters to come to bat here in the 4th inning. Shohei Mori, and then the top of the order, Takayoshi Noma and Masaya Yano. Getting a look at that highlight again from the third baseman, Kazono. It was a heck of a play to end that last inning. So Maury coming to bat here is 0 for 1. He had a looping liner to the shortstop for the final out of inning number 2. He'll lead it off here against his counterpart, Tyra, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses upstairs for a ball. The count is 1-0. Right-hander, well, ready to go. Although it looks like we have a new pitcher on the hill. There's a fastball that catches the inside corner for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So Tyra's day looks like it is over. It is number 52. It looks like it is Masumi Hamachi. As there's a pitch that swung on and it's fouled away, and the count now goes to 1-2. So Hamachi on in relief. Get that update till late. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as he kicks and delivers to Mori. There's a breaking ball, waved at and missed. Mori's in the books for the first out of the inning. As Hamachi has come out of the bullpen and retired him with a breaking ball for out number 1. Brings up the top of the order in Takeyoshi Noma. Noma comes to the plate here, 1 for 2 tonight. It's single in 2 trips. He's now hitting .273 in the early going. As the right-hander Hamachi delivers, it is a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Almost a couple of different pitches. That pitch there almost had more horizontal movement to it, whereas the one that he struck Mori out was more vertical. As the breaking ball swung on, it is lifted into left center field, moving over underneath it and making the catch is the center fielder Kajiwara. And that is going to retire Noma for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone. That'll bring up the shortstop in Masaya Yano. So 2 up and 2 away. Yano coming to the plate. He's officially 0 for 2 tonight. He had bounced into a fielder's choice. He had popped to short. He was also raced on a caught stealing in that last inning as he swings at a fastball and lifts that one foul into the seats over on the third base side. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Yano. Again, the right-hander working himself to the set position, and he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's lifted foul, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Yano trying to keep the inning alive here. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, it's a breaking ball that just misses outside. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we said last night, with the runs that were scored and the production that was had, especially in the latter part of the ball game, as the 1-2 on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul into the netting down the third base line. Count remains at 1-2. Carp, 8 runs in the first game of the series, 8 in the second, 5 here in the third game already, and still not over yet. 21 runs here scored by the Carp. Maybe the BayStars are the tonic for their poor offense. 1-2 on the way. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Held on to by the catcher, and that is going to do it. Yano's in the books for the third out of the inning. And the Carp go in order here for the first time tonight. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 4 complete. Your score is the Carp 5 and the BayStars nothing. We'll be back in just a bit. Appreciate you guys for listening in. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action. Hold tight. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Raps Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game. Welcome back, everybody. Shohei Mori has completed his warm-up tosses, and we are ready to get this one back underway. It is going to be Sano, Matsuo, and Ibina to come to bat here in the 5th inning. They face the left-hander of the Carp. Been a fairly efficient outing here for the lefty. who has retired 12 of the 13 batters that he's faced. And the first pitch on the way is a breaking ball that's dropped in for a called strike. Count is 0-1 to Sano. Sano struck out his first time up as he went down on 3 pitches. Only 50 pitches through the 4 innings for the lefty Mori as he delivers a breaking ball that just misses down, and the count now goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty Mori working to the set. Now he kicks and fires. Fastball swung on. This is lifted into center field, and it's going to get down, and it gets away from the center fielder, rounding first, but then heading back to the bag. As Sano, as that ball had been knocked down by the center fielder there, it was a bit of a strange play. Did get away from Noma a little bit, and he had to get back and retrieve it. Get it back into the infield here. So the runner at first is Sano, and it's going to bring the catcher, Shion Matsuo, to the plate. 0-for-1 tonight for Matsuo. He grounded out to short his first time up. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike. There's no balls and 1 strike. And the lefty Mori getting his sign from the catcher Ishihara. And now he kicks and fires. It is a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. Count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Again, the lefty Mori ready to go back to work. He checks the runner at first. Sano establishes his lead. Here's the pitch. Fastball down in the dirt, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top of the 5th inning, Carper holding a 5-0 lead. But as we mentioned last night, when they got into the bullpen, it got pretty exciting. As it was a 6-2 lead going to the 9th, and the Carp could not hold it. So you never know what's going to happen in Hiroshima. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and tap foul right at the feet of the catcher, and the count is 1-2 to Matsuo. So again, digging back in is the catcher of the BayStars, waiting on the offering here from Mori, who works set. Now delivers. Breaking ball swung on it is chopped foul over on the 3rd baseline. Again, the battle continues, and the count is still 1-2. Lefty Mori gets himself a new baseball, ready to go again. As now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul down the right field line. Count continues to remain at 1-2. The battle will continue here with Matsuo. Middle frames have gone a little bit quiet here as both of these teams. Carp got their scoring in the 2nd and the 3rd inning. There was a fastball that misses up. Appeal to the first base umpire, but they say that Matsuo didn't go. He looked like he was trying to turn away in self-defense. That was one of the faster pitches we've seen on the night from Mori. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first, Sano. Nobody out here in the 5th. As the lefty again works to the set, now delivers. Fastball swung on, lined into right field, down for a base hit. And they're going to play some station-to-station baseball, are the BayStars, as stopping at second is Sano. Matsuo is safe at first on the single to right field. That's going to bring up the right fielder in Tetsuo Ibina. Well, as we mentioned, we've talked about Ibina's struggles so far in the regular season, as there is now a conference on the mound of Carp. So no pitching coach, just the infield discussing the situation, as more than likely they are preparing for their bunt defense. So Abina stepping to the plate 0 for 1 tonight. He had struck out his only trip. 1 for 16 to start the year. But how good would it be if he could get a base hit here for the BayStars if you were a fan of the BayStars? Keep the Conga line moving. Here comes the offering from Maury. Fastball swung through and missed. The count is quickly 0-1. Bina is just really, really struggling, not seeing the ball well. I mentioned that the BayStar fans are all sitting in the upper deck in left field at the very end. I was there a couple of years ago. That's when I saw the Dragons play, and that was the same thing. They were all sitting up in that one corner. Here's the 0-1. Fastball swung on. Grounded past the diving third baseman into the left field corner. That's going to be extra bases. 1 run is in, and it is going to cash a pair of runs in, as sliding in and scoring all the way from first is Matsuo. And the lead has been cut to 5-2 on the double here by Ibina. So Sano scoring the first run for the BayStars. Matsuo coming all the way around from first. It was good effort there by Kazono. So as I said yesterday, 4-run lead wasn't safe. Well, guess what? So too is a 5-run lead. Maybe not safe here for the Carp either. So 2 runs across the board. They're still threatening as they got a runner in scoring position at second base. It's going to be Kaito Mori coming to the plate. Mori's 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. Our friend Harrison is back in the house. He says, come on, Yokohama. As the left-hander works himself to the set position. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses up and in, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Mori. Looks like we'll have potentially a pinch hitter here on deck. So Hamachi, who came in to relieve the starter. And there is a ball that's bunted foul down the third base side, and the count is now 1-1. Mr. Cap in the house. Finally back, he says, and we're glad to have you back. Harrison says, how did you lose last night? It was unbelievable. That had to be one of the wildest games I've seen in a while. 6-2, the Carp had the lead going to the top of the 9th. The BayStars scored 5 times to take the lead 7-6, only to give it back to give the game back all square at the end of the 9th inning. Fastball swung on, grounded over to second. Kikuchi fields it, throws on the run. It's going to be a ground out 4-3 to retire Mori for the first out of the inning. Advancing to third is Ibina. And it looks like the BayStars are going to the bench to call on a pinch hitter already here. And it's going to be Ryuki Watari. I haven't seen him yet this year. He was the talk of the town last year. So last year he was a rookie, one of the stronger seasons or stronger years, at least at the beginning of the year, and then kind of went silent and never saw much of him. But Watari is going to hit here against the lefty Shohei Mori. Now Mori steps off the backside of the rubber. Harrison says, was it a walk-off? Yeah, it was a solo shot in the bottom of the 11th. You were asking for Yamazaki, and the first pitch he threw was deposited 400-plus feet into center field. As there was first pitch fastball to Watari is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Mr. Cap says, where are his fellow bettors? There was some in here earlier, but it's been in and out. Yeah, that pitch that Yamazaki threw 400-plus feet to straightaway. Ground ball over to third. Kazono fields it. He throws on the run. They're going to retire Watari at first. It's a ground out 5-3. He's going to get himself an RBI. He's the second out of the inning, but it is going to score Ibina. That's going to make the score line now 5-3. It's going to bring up the top of the order in Koki Kojiwara. So 5-3 is the score as Kojiwara comes to the plate with 2 gone. So Mori, who had cruised along here for the first 3 2/3 innings, has hit a bit of a rut as he delivers a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and a strike. There is a fastball that is swung through and missed, and the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Lefty ready to go again here as he works himself into the set position. Here comes the 0-2. And that's a fastball that is swung on it. Did he foul it off? No, didn't look like he got it, but he started to go back to the dugout. Did Kojiwara, but they have to throw down to first to get him. It's a strikeout recorded on 2-3 on the putout. That is going to do it here for the BayStars in their half of the inning, but they've made it a ball game again. 3 runs in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits. There was no errors, and there was nobody left aboard. We are now through 4.5. Your score is the Carp 5, BayStars 3. Hang with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. As this game here has come to life. We'll be right back. We got Tyler in the house as well. Glad to see everybody in here, and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the bottom half of the 5th. That is 5-3 for the Carp. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be Kazono, Tamura, and Sekene. Just trying to do a quick look on the minor league baseball report. One of the kids who used to be in my program is currently in the Toronto Blue Jays organization down in Dunedin. So getting a check to see how he's been doing or what he did tonight after homering in his season debut yesterday. Trying to look on the back end. There is a pitching change for Yokohama. I believe it is going to be Daida Miyagi, but I'm just going to have to do a double take on that one. And so we'll see if it is Miyagi or not. Here comes the first offering to the left-handed hitting Kazono. Fastball swung on it, is lifted into deep center field, moving back. And making a great catch on the run is Kojiwara as he's on the warning track. Oh, Kazono, he hit that one a country mile. But they were able to run it down for the first out. So 1 pitch and 1 away here in the 5th inning. And that is going to bring up the first baseman in Shinsuke Tamura. One of the deepest parts of the ballpark, Kazono hit that one. Couldn't hit it any further without leaving the yard. This brings Tamura to the plate, who's 1 for 2 tonight. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that is taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. Just to confirm, it is number 65, Daida Miyagi, as he delivers a pitch that misses upstairs, and the count goes even to 1-1. So Miyagi delivers again. There's a fastball swung on, fouled right in. I hate to kind of chuckle, but boy, oh boy, was that a long swing. Fouled it right into his foot, did Tamura. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So the left-handed hitting first baseman of the Carp, and the pitch is on the way. Fastball misses inside, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. So Harrison says, yes, a walk-off homer after that, all that drama. Everything to get back into the game. Did everything they could. They couldn't hold it in the 9th. As there's a ground ball hit over to second, fielded neatly by Mackey, who throws to first. And Tamura's in the books on a ground out 4-3 for the second out of the inning. Just a little reminder, after this half inning, we like to call it our Japanese halftime, and we are going to take a timeout, as it is usually about a 5-minute break in between the 5th and the 6th innings, as they'll come out and take care of the field. And we will be back after that. So here comes the first offering here to Sekine. It's a fastball swung on. It's popped up into shallow center field. Backing up on it is Mackey. He's underneath it, and the second baseman is going to haul it in for the 3rd out of the inning. And the Carp go quickly and quietly here in their half of the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. That is now 7 retired here by BayStars pitching. We're going to take our little time out here, as it is what we call the Japanese halftime. We appreciate you guys for listening in here with us. We'll be back in just a bit. We will put the music on loop, and hopefully you guys can enjoy it along with us. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the 6th inning here, as we like to call our Japanese halftime. So we have a little bit of extra time on our hands here in between the innings. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for being here with us. It is 5-3 for the Carp. We'll be back when we return. We got a score line of 5-3 for the Carp. We'll be back in just a few. It is our Japanese halftime, as we like to call it. We'll be right back after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the sixth inning. It is a 5-3 ball game for the Carp. We still have a little bit more time out to go here. We'll be back in just a bit. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight. We'll give you our friend Steve Rademacher, and we'll be back after this.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPG baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. We are getting ourselves set for the top of the sixth inning as we had ourselves a little timeout ourselves as we are ready to get this one back going again. As the Carp enjoying themselves a 5-3 lead. Shohei Mori returning to the mound. We're going to take just another little moment here as we'll play our musical tunes, get ourselves settled back in. He's coming out to throw his tune-up tosses. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Harrison holding it down here for us as we are gone. He says odds on if BayStars win. Pretty good chance based on the collapse of the bullpen from the Carp last night. Wouldn't push anything past the BayStars. They'll fight right to the end. He also said, how can you get the games in Japan? On TV? Is that what you're asking for? Or on the net? Not sure where you're driving with that question. It's going to bring Shugo Maki to the plate, and then Masaki Momori and Toshihiro Miyazaki, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Maki is on a sluggish start here to begin the year. He's 0 for 2, as his average has plummeted below the 220 mark. A couple of homers and 7 RBIs. As the first pitch, fastballs at the knees for a called strike. The count is 0-1. 71 pitches for Mori through the first 5. There's a pile of games or pile of ways that you can watch it in Japan. The Tokyo Broadcasting System is one option. They show some of the games sometimes as that fastball misses outside. The count is 1-1. I believe the other one is NHK. There's J Sport. Those are the first three that come to mind. Our friend God is Great is in the house here. Fastball swung on and lifted into right field. This ball could be trouble. It's going to get down, and it's going to bounce off the wall. And cruising into second with a stand-up double is Shugo Maki, as he's got himself a leadoff double here to start the sixth inning. So, as I mentioned before, the BayStars are not out of it here by any stretch. They can swing the bat and hit themselves out of trouble. So all that good play that the Carp had in the early going here has turned a little bit sideways. Harrison is giving us the scoring updates from around the NPB if you guys are so inclined to look. So Masaki Momori stepping in at the plate. He is 1 for 2. He's got a single and 2 trips. Waiting on the offering from the lefty Mori, but he does the inside move and feigns the runner back to second. So the lefty ready to go again as he works himself to the set position. Kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and fouled straight back, and the count 0-1 here to Momori. So no balls and 1 strike. Again, the lefty ready to go again. Looked like the Carp were going to run away with this one again tonight, but not so much, as the BayStars responded with 3 runs in the 5th inning. There is a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty Momori getting his side from his catcher as he works himself to the set position. He checks the runner Mackey at second, delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 1-2 on Momori. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. One thing I noticed about Shohei Mori, it seems like he has slowed his pace down as soon as the runners started to get on base. 1-2 on the way, has bounced up to the plate. Nice stop there by the catcher Ishihara. Runs the count to 2-2. Harrison asked the question, what made the Giants good? Lots of money. Lots of money can help you make a lot of things good sometimes. And Bauer won't be pitching this week. He's out another week. I mentioned earlier when Ronald Rump was in here and he was asking about certain things. And I said, if you go over and the Bauer outage page on YouTube, he kind of told why he was out, why he got sent down. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. I haven't watched the whole thing myself yet. It's 3-2. Now here to Momori. I do have the open base, but I don't know if I want to put Momori on to face Miyazaki, because that could be a quick turnaround in terms of points. So here comes the 3-2 pitch as Mori works himself to the set, but now he steps off the backside of the rubber as they're going to go through these signs again. So the lefty ready to go again. He works to the set. Now he delivers. Fastball that just misses down and away, and that's going to be ball 4. Momori's going to be aboard with a walk. That's going to put runners at first and second with nobody out, and it's going to be Toshiro Miyazaki to the plate. So here in this situation, it's not as if the Carp are going to beat the BayStars. The Carp might have to be conscious of the fact that they might beat themselves here, as the pitching coach is on his way out to the mound to have some discussions with his left-hander and the rest of the infield. So Maury ready to go back at it as this conversation is over, but Miyazaki coming to the plate. Miyazaki had a really tough night last night. He made 2 errors in 1 inning. That was that inning that led to a couple of the runs by the BayStars that put them up 6-2. He couldn't have dug a hole deep enough to go and hide in, but as it turned out, getting back in the game. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Miyazaki. So 1 ball and no strikes. Again, the left-hander getting a sign. Runner at second is Mackey. Runner at first, Momori. Nobody out here in the 6th. BayStars looking to get back in this ball game as they trail 5-3. Here comes the pitch. Instead, Maury steps off the backside of the rubber. Friend Harrison is on a heater right now. He's got everything going on. He's keeping you updated on everything. Everything but NCAA men's basketball. Although it looks like a Florida Duke final coming up. So 1 ball and no strikes to Miyazaki as the left-hander Maury kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Miyazaki in a great hitting count here. The one where I haven't seen enough of the Carp. We saw a couple of their exhibition games. We've seen them now, I think, twice in the regular season or 3 times. Obviously, last night and today. And the word I would use to describe them would be fragile. Here's a pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 2-1. All Rails Production says he's a huge BayStar fan, and I really hope they win today. Well, they could use the getaway game. You stop the sweep, that is for sure. All Rails says, have you been to a game? Oh, we've been to a bunch. As the 2-1 pitch is on the way, it is a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to third. They step on third, and they go across the diamond to first. That's going to be a double play. It's going to go into the books as a 5-3 double play. As Mackey is retired for the first out. On the backside, Miyazaki is out, but advancing to second is Momori. I was a little surprised just the way that it took him. I would have thought the third baseman, Kazono, might have went to second base and tried to get the first 2 outs. A friend All Rails Production says last season it was at a game in Yokohama. It was pretty sick. Yeah, I saw these 2 teams play one another. 2 years ago, I saw Shota Imanaga pitch for the BayStars against Aaron Curry, who at that time was with the Carp, as there's a breaking ball that misses down, squirts away from the catcher Ishihara, but it's going to be a ball here to Sano. So Momori, the runner at second. There's 2 gone now in the 6th. After a bit of good defense there. 1 ball and no strikes to Sano. So the lefty getting his sign here as Maury ready to go to work. Holds himself to the set. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. All Rail says he watched the Hanshin Tigers versus Yokohama. Harrison says if he travels, I'm not sure what restrictions that you're talking about. Tyler Austin hit a home run, a go-ahead home run. Yeah, Tyler Austin not in the lineup tonight. Getting the night off. Probably a much-deserved one, as he has a little bit of a struggle going on. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses inside. It's now 3-0 to Sano. I'd have to think this might be the last inning we might see Maury the way things are shaping up 87 pitches right now, although that's nothing. You're probably just getting warmed up in the Japanese league. Harrison, you might want to do your homework on the foreign travel. Restrictions have been dropped off a couple of years ago on that. There's a fastball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4. Sano's going to get himself a walk. That's going to put runners at first and second. And it's going to bring the catcher, Cheyenne Matsuo, to the plate. And it's also going to bring the manager out, as it looks like Araya is going to has seen enough. As we've seen enough of Mori. Runners at first and second. 2 gone here in the inning. We're going to get ourselves a pitching change, and we're going to take a little time out and come back in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here tonight with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher. He's going to cue you up with all that new pitching change stuff that he's provided us with here tonight. Where are you, Steve? Can't find you right now, but I think we're going to have you be able to show everybody what you know.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you gonna throw in there Raleigh Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. You know, every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change, and it's going to be the star of last night's ball game. It'll be Daisuke Moriura, who came in relief and pitched the 10th and 11th innings, struck out 5 of the 6 batters that he faced. So he will replace Shohei Mori here. So Daisuke Moriura on in relief. And here we are. Here we got Alex Andrews in the house. Appreciate him for coming in. He says, great having it 2 nights in a row. Unfortunately, not going to be calling one until later in the week. We might squeeze some major league games in the daytime. But it is going to be some of the NPB stuff will be later in the week. And plus, we're going to be heading out of town next weekend. So hopefully I could get the Saturday game in. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a Sunday game in, as we have a lot of work to do on our end. Alreal says he really likes Ryosuke Kikuchi's game. I think Kikuchi's game is on the slide. It would have been nicer to see him about 7-8 years ago. There's a fastball swung on this ball. Is lifted into deep left field. Drifting back on it is Fabian, and he's going to make the catch. And with one pitch, it is going to retire the catcher Matsuo on a fly ball to left field for the 3rd out of the inning. So Daisuke Moriura comes in and does his job once again. He is the poison for the BayStars. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there was one, check that, 2 runners left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. Your score is the Carp 5 and the BayStars 3. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is Carp and BayStars. More action when we return after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's another Hollis build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat here for the Carp in the bottom of the sixth. Sandro Fabian, Ryosuke Kikuchi, and Tomoki Ishihara. As that is going to be a battle of the bullpens from here on out. Our friend All Rail says he pretty much knows all the players on the BayStars. That's how much of a fan I am. And he has family from Yokohama. Yokohama is a beautiful city. I never really got a chance to spend much time there. I only really went in for the game. Well, I actually went in and I had dinner, and then saw the game and then got out. But it looks like it is fairly beautiful, and I'd like to be able to spend some more time there in the future. But not this summer. It is going to be a different country. We're going to be in Taiwan this year, and more than likely Vietnam at the end of the year. So this brings Fabian to the plate. He's 2 for 2 tonight. He's got a couple of doubles. He has driven in a pair of runs. As the first pitch on the way is a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. It is still the right-hander Miyagi who is in the ball game here for the BayStars, beginning his second inning of work. So no balls and 1 strike. As the pitcher delivers, it's a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes even at 1-1. Yeah, getting to Japan, good times. Wanted to try to knock off the rest of my tour of the country this year, but just wasn't going to work out as there was a breaking ball ticket for a called strike. The World's Fair is going on in Osaka this year, and it's caused the hotel prices to go through the roof. So I don't need to go back there this year. I can go back in 2027 or 6. As there is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Fabian. All Real says, are you watching the game right now? Of course we are. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into right field, but it's going to slice foul into the temporary seating down the right field line, and the count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and chopped foul over on the third base side. Count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Fabian waiting, waggling the bat as the right-hander kicks and delivers. There is a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded over to third. Miyazaki gathers, fields it, fires across the diamond. That is going to retire Fabian on a ground out 5-3 for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. It'll bring up the second baseman in Ryosuke Kikuchi. Well, for Kikuchi, he's 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and driven in a run, and he's also grounded to third. As the first pitch coming here from the right-hander Miyagi, who kicks and delivers. Breaking ball drops in for a called strike. Count is 0-1. It's been 8 in a row retired by BayStar pitching, as the Carp's bat have all of a sudden gone cold as there's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Carp enjoying a 5-3 lead, but there's a lot of baseball left to be played in this one. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. Grounded past the diving third baseman Miyazaki, and that's going to get into left field for a base hit as Kikuchi is aboard with a one-out single. His second hit of the ball game, so he's starting to catch fire, and now that's going to bring Ishihara to the plate. All Reals Production says BayStars pitching is pretty strong in his opinion. I have to concur with that. Lots of depth on that ball club. Starting pitching strong. Maybe Tyra is the weakest link. You think of the three imports as squaring to bunt here as the catcher Ishihara, he bunts that one foul down the third base line, and the count is 0-1. Three import starters in Jackson, Kay, and Bauer. You take those into effect, and then look at Azuma. Not a bad, fearsome foursome to start. If Tyra is your sixth starter, you're in pretty good shape. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Ishihara, but instead they throw over to first base. Diving back in time is the runner. So no balls and one strike to Ishihara, as he is squaring to bunt yet again. And here comes the pitch from Miyagi, and it's bunted down the first base line. It's a good one. Miyagi bobbles it, picks it up, throws to first. Oh, that was not the cleanest of plays all the way around. But they do get the catcher Ishihara. It goes as a sacrifice. 1-3. Check that 1-4 on the putout. It looks like it was Shugo Maki who made the catch over there. 2 gone here, as it does advance Kikuchi into scoring position. And now it's going to bring up the pitcher's position, but we're going to see Shota Dobayashi come in to pinch hit. Dobayashi was in, of course, in the last night's game. Saw Dobayashi play a couple years ago against the BayStars and actually hit 2 homers in that game. So runner at second, Kikuchi, 2 gone here in the inning, as Dobayashi stands in, waiting on the offering here from Miyagi, and the pitch on the way is a breaking ball that catches the inside corner for called strike. It is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Dobayashi standing in on the right side here, waiting on the offering from Miyagi, who works himself to the set. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball down. Oh, that was a good catch a good stop by the catcher Matsuo. A 5-3 lead for the Carp here, bottom of the 6th inning. 2 gone. They're looking to try to cash in another run. Dobayashi in the pinch hitting role here, waiting on the offering from the right-hander Miyagi. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded, foul softly past the third base coach's box. Now Dobayashi in the hole at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So right-hander working to the set again. Here comes the pitch to Dobayashi. Breaking ball swung on. This one's pop foul. It's going to reach the seats behind home plate. That remains at 0-2. One thing I will say, I was glad I made it to the Jingu Stadium last year, although, it's definitely a, whatever you want to call it, a Wrigley Field or a Fenway Park of Japanese baseball. But it wasn't my favorite stadium. I have to say, where the Carp play of the stadiums I've been to, I really like that stadium. As the right-hander ready to go, and he checks the runner at second. And here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, chopped softly in front of the plate, fielded neatly by the catcher Matsuo, who throws to first. It's going to be a ground out 2-3. That's going to end the inning here, as Dobayashi has gone for out number 3. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there was one runner left aboard. We are now moving through to the top of the 7th inning. Your score is the BayStars trailing the Carp 5-3. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Ibina, Mori, and then the pitcher's spot in the batting order to face a new pitcher for the Carp as they are going to their bullpen. It looks like it is a right-hander. It is going to be number 43 we saw in last night's ball game. It would be Satara Shimouchi as he is coming on here to face the BayStars in this one. So Shimouchi on in relief. Third pitcher used tonight. Very short outing there by Moriera, but another effective one as he has pitched very well in this series. So Shimouchi ready to take over here. And it is Ibina, Mori, as we said, and then the pitcher's spot in the batting order. So we'll see what they have up their sleeves here to the BayStars. First pitch is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Ibina doubled his last time up and knocked in a couple of runs. Only a couple of hits this season. He was 1 for 16 at one point. As the pitch on the way is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now runs even at 1-1. But the BayStars could use some base runners, just as they could use a little bit of offense. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. As it is a fastball that misses way outside, the count now goes to 2-1. And that would be the case. Got to work the count a bit and try to grind your way on. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. It's going to be lifted foul down the right field line. Count goes to 2-2 now on Ibina. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carp have 9 outs to get, and they get themselves a victory. You know how it was last night. It was not an easy finish for the Hiroshima Ball Club. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball that swung on and missed. Oh, Ibina, I think he wanted that one back. He swung at a ball. He's in the books for the first out of the inning. That'll bring Mori to the plate. And for Kaito Mori, he is 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out in his 2 trips. And here comes the first offering to the left-handed hitting Mori. It's a fastball swung on, has popped up over on the third base side. Underneath it is Kazono as he backpedals into foul territory. He's going to make the catch. It's going to go as a second out of the inning on the fly ball to the third baseman. So 2 gone here. And that's going to leave it up to the pitcher's spot in the batting order. So I'm sure we're going to have a pinch hitter coming up. So we'll see what the BayStars are pulling out of their hat here. As the first pitch is on the way from Shimauchi, it's a breaking ball swung on and missed. That was quickly 0-1. This is number 9 batting for the BayStars. This is Yota Kyoto. We've seen him in the series before, so Kyoto here swings at a breaking ball, and count now is no balls and 2 strikes. So Shimauchi pitching very well here. Carp fans are getting their balloons ready to go, as that is what happens in between the top of the bottom half of the 7th inning. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. That wasn't much pinch hitting. Kyoto down on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it here for the BayStars in their half of the 7th. They go quietly and they go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom half of inning number 7. Your score is the Carp 5 and the BayStars 3. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few. We appreciate you for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the top of the order coming to bat here for the Carp. And we're just going to get a confirmation of the pitching change. It'll be Nobayano and Kazono to come to bat. As it does look like we have another right-hander on here for Yokohama. This is number 92, Hayato Horioka, as he will take over here in relief. So Horioka ready to offer his first pitch. Ooh, it's a fastball that comes up and in. And for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes. Again, the right-hander kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses inside. The count now goes to 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Again, the right-hander working himself to the set position. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball missing upstairs, and the count now goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. And now the batter steps out backwards. It just allows the pitcher to throw a pitch, and it's going to be a strike right down the middle. 3 balls and 1 strike to Noma. Appreciate you all, Rails, for listening in. Glad you could join us as there's a fastball that misses upstairs. It's going to be ball 4. And Noma is aboard with a walk, and that is going to bring up the shortstop in Masaya Yano. We've been doing this for a few years. We've been taking our time and doing stuff. It's been a lot of fun. We're trying to get on a couple times a week. The goal this year is to probably call about 150 games total. It's going to be big league games. It's going to be, not going to do minor league games, but we'll do NPB games. And we did some of the Premier 12. We did some of the stuff in the World Baseball Classic qualifiers. That was a lot of fun. We'll continue to try to do that as well. As Masaya Yano already squaring the bunt, and they throw over to first base and getting back in time as the runner Noma. So I would anticipate probably about 100 NPB games is what our goal would be for this year. So here is the pitch. It is bunted foul. Nice stop there. Good idea by Yano, but fouls it off. The count is 1-0-1. Looking at that, it was, the runner at first. He was racing over into second base, but there was nobody over down the third baseline. Got to keep your head up a little bit about you here to make your way all the way around the bags. So no balls and 1 strike as the right-hander works himself to the set position. There's a fastball that's bunted down the first baseline. A nice job there by the catcher, Matsuo, to get out and get it. But it is going to be a sacrifice, as that is going to advance Noma over to second. So that's going to be a sacrifice. It's going to be 2-4 on the putout. Yano's gone for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Kazono. And for Kazono, well, he's enjoyed himself a pretty good night at the office tonight. He is 1 for 2 officially. He has scored a run, he's walked, and stolen a base. His average is sitting at 370 on the campaign. So here comes the pitch. Breaking ball misses upstairs. The count is 1-0 to Kazono. Mentioned earlier, it's a great crowd on hand. The only upper deck and left field next to where the BayStars supporters are is where we noticed a significant amount of empty seats. Outside of that, there's been a lot of people at this game. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and it spins Kazono all the way around. He literally looked like a figure skater. He was on one leg. Helmet flying all over the place, no balance. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And All Rails says 3 innings is a lot of baseball still to be played. Yes, it is. Fastball misses down. At least 2 innings for the BayStars. 2 balls and 1 strike to Kazono. Probably if you're a Carp fan, you'd probably be breathing easier with a 3-run lead. Or maybe an 8-run lead based on yesterday's collapse. These things can go sideways in the 8th and the 9th. All I got to say is I'm hoping that we're not going to go extra innings like we did last night. I don't think I could take it. Breaking ball misses down, and the count is now 3-1. We'll have to call it a night after 9. So 3 balls and 1 strike here to Kazono. And it wouldn't be the end of the world if they walked him. They do have the open base. As the 3-1 ready to come here from the right-hander. Hiroka delivers. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count goes to 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Carp and BayStars as they paddle here. Carp looking to try to secure the sweep here with a victory over the BayStars here tonight. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on. Grounded through the 4-hole into right field. And stopping at third. Oh, that was a good decision. The right fielder, Ibina, was playing very shallow. They would have had a shot to throw Kazono out. But that's a single here off the bat of Kazono. Sorry, that would have been Noma that would have had a chance to throw out. Puts runners on the corners with one gone. And it brings Shunsuke Tamura to the plate. And if Tamura wasn't hitting in the 4-hole, I might suggest maybe we would see a bunt here. So Tamura 1 for 3 tonight, and he has scored a run. Carp have something brewing here in their half of the 7th inning. So Tamura gets himself in. 6 for 14 now on the season, hitting .429. As the first offering here coming from Hiroka. The pitch on the way is a split finger pitch swung on and missed. Count is quickly 0-1. I wonder at what point they're going to put Kazono in motion. Would they consider maybe a delayed steal or something along those lines? Draw some type of throw down to second base. They don't want to give up that run from third. And here comes the 0-1 offering. Pitch on the way. It is a split finger pitch that misses down. And the count is 1-1. Runner at third is Noma. Runner at first is Kazono. So they can run on the base pass. Kazono already has a stolen base in this one here tonight. Noma can run a little bit as well. Looks like that it is Kazono has already taken the second base. He has stolen that one there. So that puts runners at second and third. And now they got to bring the defense in, do the BayStars. There's a split finger pitch swung on a miss. The count goes to 1-2. Yeah, you don't have to worry about a double play anymore as they have taken that out of that situation. So you're going to try to go after the hitter here. Sekene waits his turn on deck. But you got to wonder at what point would they consider intentionally walking somebody to set up the force at any base. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tamura as he waits on the pitch here from Hiroka. And the 1-2 on the way. And there is a split finger swung on and missed. Tamura goes down on strikes. He is gone for the second out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the right fielder, Shota Sekene. Well, for Sekene, he comes to bat here with runners at second and third, but we've got a timeout as it looks like that the BayStars are going to go to their bullpen here. We're going to have to wait and see what that is. That's the end of the night for Hiroka as he's going to make his way to the dugout. We're going to see what the BayStars have up their sleeves. We're going to take a little timeout. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for listening in here on the Last Drops Baseball YouTube channel. It is a 5-3 game for the Carp, but they are threatening. We'll be back in just a couple moments. It's a pitching change here, and we're waiting for confirmation. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. We got runners at second and third. We do have a pitching change as Shota Sakane is coming to bat. It is going to be number 53 for the BayStars, a right-hander coming in. That is Hayate, as he only goes by the one name, so that is what we're going to refer to him as well. So Hayate on in relief, as he is going to be set to face Shota Sakane here with 2 on and 2 out. Opportunity here to stretch out the lead in this one. Well, Sakane striding to the plate. He has had a good night at the office. He is 2 for 3. He has scored 2 runs and driven in a run. So he's been a big part of the offense. He's been involved in 3 of the 5 runs so far tonight. 6 for 16 in the season is Sakane as he steps in ready to face the offering from the right-hander. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses way outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Pretty healthy crowd here tonight, as we said, or this afternoon in Japan, as it is approaching the 4 o'clock hour in Japan. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I should say. Fastball swung on and fouled straight back. Count is now 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Kenny digging himself in, batting from the right side here against the right-hander Hayate. Pretty tough pitcher here. He's got a real down-under motion as he's ready to go. Here comes the 1-1. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2. It was a nasty pitch that got the outside corner, but runners at second and third here. Base hit would score a pair. Here we go. Let's see how this is going to work. Sakane waits here on the offering. 1-2 is about ready to come. Now the pitch on the way. Fastball just misses outside. The count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, we're getting into the deep water here as 8th inning is just around the corner, but it's a 2-2 count here to Sakane. The right-hander holds to the set. Now kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on it, is lifted foul down the right field line as it slices it into the seats just above the temporary seating area, and the count remains at 2-2. This game has slowed down significantly as we have got a little deeper into the ball game. You think about it, when Shohei Mori was on the hill, he had retired. It was 11 batters in a row and 12 of the 13 that he'd faced. It kind of went off the rails for him after the 5th inning. Fastball misses upstairs. The count now goes full to Sakane. It is Sandro Fabian who waits his turn on deck. If Sakane is able to reach safely. Fabian has had himself a really good day at the office here tonight. So here comes the 3-2 pitch as the right-hander ready to go again. Hayati gets his sign. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on and lifted foul on the first base side of home plate, and the count remains at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Our friend All Rails says Fabian is a dangerous hitter. Well, he has been tonight. He needs to make sure he gets it going here if he wants to keep a job in Japan. There's a fastball that misses outside. It's going to be ball 4. That's going to load the bases. That's going to bring Fabian to the plate with the bases juiced and 2 gone. As Kenny wakes his mate slowly down the baseline, getting all the body armor off his arm and his shoulders and everywhere else. Fabian, with those 2 hits tonight, has raised his season average up to 286. It's exactly what the Carp have asked for. So here comes the first offering from the right-hander Hayati. First pitch on the way. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. It's going to be a tough one to keep the eyes open here. Thought last night was tough as we had gone to extra innings. Carp have a chance here to blow this thing apart. As the 0-1 is on the way, fastball misses outside. The count goes to 1-1. So the one thing that does get on my nerves a little bit is how the bullpens will slow it down. I remember a couple of years ago, the Hanshin Tigers bullpen was on complete rain delay mode. Whenever they came into the game, it was like a game that would take 2 hours and 40 minutes to play. You can add another hour onto it just because of the bullpen. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is going to be lifted in deep right center field. And diving and making the catch. Oh, what a play by Ibina. That ball would have got down. It would have cleared the bases. Tip your hat to Ibina. That is going to do it here for the 3rd out of the inning. What a play. No runs in the inning. There was only 1 hit. There was no errors, and there were 3 runners left aboard. Your score as we move to the inning number 8. It is a 5-3 game for the Carp over the BayStars. We'll be back in just a minute. Looks like Carp are going to be making a few more changes. We're going to go refresh our drink. Appreciate you guys for being here with us tonight. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. We have ourselves, it looks like another change here. We're just going to get caught up on everything here. Just give me a half a moment. As it looks like Fabian's day might be done. We'll have to take a look at that. It was quite the swing and quite the play by the right fielder Ibina to have to go after it and get it. Making a diving catch in right center field to end that inning. All Rail says, how far was it? It was hitting the right center field gap, probably halfway between the right fielder and the center fielder, and he got on his horse and went and got it. Looks like the American lefty, it looks like it's Taylor Hearn who is coming into the ball game here for the Carp, as he will be taking over. So another pitching change here. So Taylor Hearn on in relief, the fourth pitcher used tonight by the Carp. And he's going to have to face the top of the order in Fujiwara, Mackey, and Momori. The first pitch is at 93 miles an hour, swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. Koki Fujiwara. Fujiwara 0 for 3 tonight, as he has grounded out twice and struck out once. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. So again, the lefty ready to go. There's a fastball swung on. It's chopped over to short. Throw to first, and that's going to get him. It looked like it might have taken him off the bag, as Yano's throw was to the infield side of first base. The speed of Fujiwara almost beat it out, but a good stretch there by the first baseman Tamura. That is going to retire Fujiwara on a ground out 6-3. All I would say is to our friend in the chat, All Rail, if you're going to be giving out spoilers, it's not going to work. You got to make sure you keep that in check. Some of the folks in here will get fairly upset with you if that's the case, as they do come in to listen. There is a delay, as we know, as there's the first pitch fastball taken for a strike. Count is 0-1. As the 0-1 pitch on the way, there's a fastball that swung on it. It's going to be lifted, foul down the right field line. It's going to reach the seats, and the count now goes to 0-2. Last year, when I was watching the games on Pacific League TV at the games in the Pacific League parks, there was about a 15-second delay between the feed and the game. So there's a fastball swung on off the bat of Shugo Maki, and it's lifted foul into the seats down the right field line. Count remains 0-2. Maki 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a double in 3 trips, but he was erased in a double play in the 6th inning. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded over the right side into right field. It's going to be the second hit here for Mackey, so maybe he's starting to heat up a little bit. His second hit of the evening, and that is going to bring up the first baseman in Masaki Momori. And for Momori, this will be a difficult player to double up. We do have some wholesale changes for the Carp. We'll have to get to them as the batters come to bat. So this brings Momori to the plate. He's 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also drawn a walk. So Hearn ready to go here as he works to the set. Now delivers. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. BayStars are starting to run out of outs. They got 5 outs left. They're trying to cash a couple of runs in. But you never know what's going to happen here, as the Carp had a collapse in last night's game. There was a fastball swung on it, is lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. The count is now 0-2 to Momori. So no balls and 2 strikes. 5-3. Carp still enjoying the lead here in the 8th. As the lefty Hearn holds to the set position, now delivers. Fastball misses in, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lefty Hearn ready to go. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that is waved at and missed. And Mamori goes in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. That was a key strikeout there by Hearn. That is going to bring up the third baseman in Toshihiro Miyazaki. So a big strikeout there by Taylor Hearn. Just making a couple of notes here. So Hearn ready to go back at it again. And the first pitch delivered to Miyazaki, taken for a strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Miyazaki tonight is grounded into a double play. He's also grounded out 2 other times. So he's not had a great night at the plate, following up not a great night in the field last night. And there is a pitch that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-1. Chaos says, I betted twice on Oryx. Well, hope you did all right with it. Buffaloes have been playing good ball to start the 2025 campaign. Here's the 1-1. Fastball swung on, lifted into right center field. This ball is going to be trouble. It's going to get down. Rounding second and heading to third is Mackey. And the BayStars have something brewing here as they've got runners on the corners with 2 gone. The single out the bat of Miyazaki, runners at the corners, and that's going to bring Kaita Sano to the plate. But it's also going to bring a pinch runner here, as that is going to be the end of the night for Miyazaki. It is going to be 0-0. Coming in to run, that is going to be Takuma Hayashi. So Hayashi coming to bat here. Hayashi coming in to run here for Miyazaki. Kaita Sano stepping in at the plate. Sano tonight is officially 1 for 2. He's also had a walk. And the pitch on the way as the fastball swung on it is grounded past the diving glove of the shortstop, Yano, and to left field. It's going to be an RBI single for Sano. Scoring from third is Mackey, and the BayStars have now cut the lead to 5-4. It looks like the pitching coach is coming out here with the interpreter as they're going to have a word here with Taylor Hearn. Runners at first and second with 2 gone, and it's going to bring Shion Matsuo to the plate. Our friend Chaos says he's betting Buffaloes until they lose. Not a bad strategy. As we take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard, final score, the Tigers beat the Giants 1-0. Top of the 8th inning, the Dragons have a 6-5 lead over the Swallows. Over in the Pacific League, it's 6-4 for the Buffaloes over the Fighters. That's in the top of the 9th. Top of the 7th inning, Eagles continue to play good ball. They're up 4-0 on the Marines. And in the top of the 9th inning at the PayPay Dome, it is 11-1 for the Hawks over the Lions. And so Taylor Hearn has retired the last batter that he faced, which is Sano. I didn't get the highlight on that one. As we were given the updates on the scores, pitching change or the pitching coach visit to the mound has ended this here, but that is going to be it as Matsuo is out for the 3rd out of the inning. But they got a run in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 8th inning, it is a 5-4 ball game. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Hopefully we can navigate our way through this. We'll be right back after this on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Kikuchi at the plate, and he took a first pitch fastball for a called strike, and then he took the next one down low for a ball. It is 1 ball and 1 strike. Kikuchi 2 for 3 tonight. He's got a couple of singles and an RBI. He enjoyed a nice night at the office. Swings and grounds that over to Mackey at second, who boots the ball, and it's going to be an error on Shugo Mackey as Kikuchi has reached out and been able to get the first base. So unfortunately, a timely error by Shugo Maki here has a runner at first with nobody out, and that's going to bring up the catcher in Tomoki Ishihara. You can't do that. Not at this time of the game, and Maki knows it as he looks skyward. The ball just gobbled him up. Thank God he can really swing the bat, because we've watched him make a couple of dicey plays defensively over the last couple of nights. I guess you got to play somewhere, but Mackey definitely in that spot. Well, Ishihara coming to bat here. He's already squaring the bunt. He has 1 sacrifice tonight as they throw over to first, and diving back in time is Kikuchi. The new third baseman was the pinch runner in there for Miyazaki, as he has stayed in. As the pitch is on the way, it is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Boy, oh boy. Yokohama third baseman was literally, that is Takuma Hayashi, really shaking hands with the batter here. No fear from Hayashi, running right down the throat of Ishihara. Again, as he squares the bunt. Here's the pitch. It is bunted, and it's foul right into the batter's legs, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Chaos says, remind me to put money on the under total on all Marines games. They hit like my Padres hit today. Yeah, well, the Padres have played some pretty good ball out of the gate. They've just run into a bit of a wall here against the Cubs. Certainly against Imanaga the other day. Another ball that's thrown over to first base, and diving back in time is Kikuchi. So establishing his lead over there at first is the base runner Kikuchi. Ishihara here at 1 ball and 1 strike, still squaring to bunt. Again, they throw over to first, and again diving back is the base runner Kikuchi. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And here comes the pitch. It is bunted, and another one that's bunted foul. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ishihara. Yeah, this is called the voice of almost being asleep. I'm struggling to keep awake here in this one here tonight. It's been a busy day and another busy day tomorrow, and as lively as we are on normal nights. Chaos says the Padres always struggle in the cold. And there's a ball that's bunted foul, and that is going to be strike 3. As Ishihara is going to be called out. He's gone for the first out of the inning, so unable to get the job done. It's supposed to be the pitcher spot in the batting order coming up. We saw Dobayashi hit in the last time. We'll see exactly what we have coming up here. Actually, it's going to be, check that, it's going to be Amori Minoru, who is slated here, as it looks like that he has come in a spot. So Minoru Omari, as they throw over to first base and diving back is Kikuchi. Omari here at the plate. And the pitch is a fastball, misses outside. He came in earlier. They had a bunch of defensive changes. Did the Carp, this was the pitcher spot in the batting order at once upon a time, and now the pitcher spot is actually in the 6th spot. So that's the beauty of the Central League game. More baseball, you have to do the double switches. Love that stuff. Fastball swung on. This is lined into right field. This is going to be extra bases. It's going to be trouble. Falling down in right field is Abina, but they're going to hold up Kikuchi at third. It's going to be a double off the bat of Omari. So he's got himself on with a double here. It's going to stopping at third is Kikuchi. And with 1 out here, the Carp are threatening. That'll bring up the top of the order in Noma to the plate, or it's supposed to bring up Noma. Harrison says, I thought it was 5-4 Carp. It is 5-4 for the Carp. They've got runners at second and third. They're threatening again here, as the pitching coach for the BayStars had come out to the mound, and the umpires are out there to break it up. It's classic. I remember when I was in Europe that they had the base umpire come out and break up the conferences, and they do that here too. It's, I think, to cut down on potential for confrontations. I remember I never knew that they did that, and I got out to the mound and got the base umpire coming out. The base umpire is coming out to break it up, and I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to the plate umpire. I got a lot to say about that. Balls and strikes. So this brings Noma to the plate. Noma is 1 for 3. He's got a single and 3 trips. He's also drawn a walk. Chaos says the Carp can swing the bat. Well, they haven't swung the bat very well this year, and they haven't swung the bat well in the exhibition season, but all of a sudden enter the BayStars, and they suddenly look like the New York Yankees of Japan, as there's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, or maybe the Dodgers of Japan. So no balls and 1 strike. As the right-hander holds to the set, here comes the pitch. Fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-1. So Chaos says, where in San Diego were you born, dude? I'm not from San Diego. Only been there 1 time in my life. I don't know if anybody else is in the chat from San Diego. Great city, though. Love it. Would go back. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. As Hayati kicks and delivers, it is a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Carp here looking to pad their lead. It's 2 balls and 1 strike to NOMA. They got runners at second and third. There's 1 gone. We've seen this act before. Chaos says another Hollis build, isn't you? No. Nope. That's our buddy Matt. Comes the 2-1 pitch. Fastball. That is, I'm not sure where that missed. Runs the count to 3-1. That pitch looked pretty darn good. We're going to get to look at the replay. Maybe a little bit up high, but I don't know about that. It was below the catcher's mask. That's a pretty good spot. So 3 balls and 1 strike it is, as the right-hander ready to go. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded over to the left side. That's going to get a run in. A nice play there by the third baseman, and they're not going to get anybody. As racing down the line is Noma. He's going to beat it out for an infield single. He's going to get himself an RBI. Coming in to score is Kikuchi. Stopping at third is going to be Omori. And they still have something brewing here, as they've now increased the lead to 6-4. And the crowd very, very pleased with that in Hiroshima, as is Noma. And that's going to bring Masaya Yano to the plate. So the ball was hit to the third baseman. And as the third baseman, Hayashi, had gone to his knees, it was rather casual the way he got to his feet to try to throw the ball to first. And Noma got down the line pretty good. The throw was up the line a bit, and that's going to be runners at the corners here with 1 gone. And now a 6-4 lead. Chaos says, no, that was for our channel. No, that was for another channel there. It's all good. It's all good. You should go check out Matt anyway. And it looks like we're going to have ourselves a pitching change here, as the manager, Mira, on his way to the mound. He's going to take out Hayati. We're going to take a little break here, and we'll be back in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you going to throw in there Raleigh Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. You know, every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
Welcome back, everybody. That is our buddy Steve Rademacher, and we do have the pitching changes. Hayati's day is done. It'll be Masaya Yano slated to come to bat. We're just getting an update on who the pitcher is going to be here for the BayStars. They have gone to their bullpen yet again. Yano, 5 for 29 to start the year. He has got no homers and 2 RBIs. We're expecting some possibility of some shenanigans going on here. But it is going to be number 20, Yuya Sakamoto, on in relief, as he is going to be the 6th pitcher used here for the BayStars. So Sakamoto on in relief. And the first pitch is a fastball that's spiked up to the plate. And the count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Yano tonight officially 0 for 3, and he has a sacrifice bunt. So if you want to get somebody, this is the guy you probably want to get right here. Make your life easier. It'll be Kaito Kazono on deck. Here's the pitch. Fastball down. There goes the runner. They're not going to make the throw. That's going to put runners at second and third. Stolen base there for Noma. Carp fans, the Carp faithful are pretty happy about that. So the left-handed hitting Yano waiting here. He's looking to do some damage. 2 balls and no strikes. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded through the 4-hole into right field. That's going to get 1 run in. Here comes the throw to the plate, but it's going to just be a little offline. But stopping at third will be Noma. It's going to be an RBI single off the bat of Yano. Into score comes Omari. And that is going to increase the score line to 7-4. So the BayStars here letting this one slip away potentially. And they're still not out of the woods yet. So runners are at the corners here. Same situation. Let's see if they put Yano in motion. Noma was able to take the base. So the lefty Sakamoto in relief. Gives up a base hit to the first batter he faces. Here comes Kazono. Kazono tonight, 2 for 3 with a walk as he misses. There's a fastball that comes up and in. And the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Kazono is 2 for 3, as we mentioned, but he's also got 2 stolen bases tonight. As they throw over to first base and getting back easily is the runner. There have been quite a few stolen bases in this game for the Carp, as exhibited by 1 in this inning alone. So here comes the 1-0 offering. It's a fastball swung on his pop foul into the seats over on the third base side of home plate. Count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike here to Kazono. As the lefty Sakamoto ready to deliver. He kicks and fires. Fastball swung on, popped up. Foul territory. Looks like it's playable. Underneath it is the third baseman who almost let the wind take it a ride for him. As that is going to be Hayashi, who is going to make the catch. There's nothing worse you want in that situation as a strikeout or a pop-out. And a pop-out it is for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to Shinsuke Tamura. Chaos says putting in an under 0.5 runs for the Marines entering the 8th now. He says he's given up on them. They're putting up another donut, especially after they had a good start to the season. I believe sweeping that series in Fukuoka. So it's supposed to be Tamura, but Tamura is done for the night. This is a pinch hitter, I do believe, here. Or at least the defensive replacement. I believe it's Tatsuya Yamashi. You'll have to get confirmation of that. But the first pitch missed upstairs for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. There's another fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Yamashi. Lefty leans in, gets his sign, and now he works himself into the set position. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 3-0. Not the end of the world by walking Yamashi here. Load up the bases, but definitely got to try to put him away here. 3-run cushion here for the Carp in the 9th. 2 gone. Here comes the 3-0. Sakamoto delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Chaos asks, what question did you Darvish play for? He was with the Hokkaido Nippon Hamfires. Same team as Otane, same team as Arihara would come across. Fastball swung on, popped up over behind second base. Underneath it is Maki. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to do it as Yamashi's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. But they pad their lead due to the Carp. There was 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits. There was an error, and there was 2 runners left aboard. The score as we move to the top of the 9th inning. It is the Carp 7 and the BayStars 4. If it's anything like last night, you don't want to go anywhere. This is when the BayStars usually wake up, but we'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this. Welcome back, everybody. The Carp are going to the bullpen again for the 5th time tonight, or 4th time to the bullpen. 5th pitcher used tonight. That is going to be number 20, or Yonchi Kirbiyashi, who is coming in. Well, did not go so well last night for number 20, so let's see how tonight's going to fare. As we said, this game here is far from over, as he's got a fluffed-up ERA of 19.29. Have to throw a lot of shutout innings to pull that thing back into reasonable sake. So it all comes down to this. 9th inning here. Here we are. It's going to be Ibina Mori and the pitcher's spot slated to come to bat here. Ibina 1 for 3 tonight. He has doubled home 2 of the 3 BayStar runs, and he has struck out twice on the surrounding at bats. First pitch, fastball swung on, lifted into straightaway center field, coming in hard. Oh, and he lost it in the sun, and the ball gets by the center fielder. Unbelievable. And that is going to allow Ibina to get into second base. Oh my God, that is absolutely comical. Unbelievable. That is Omari, who was running in, and he completely lost it in the sun. I mean, hey, listen, you hate to laugh at it, but he looked like he was hitting the deck. Looked like he had a sure beat on it. The next thing you know, he hits the deck, and the ball gets by him. Oh, my goodness. I don't think they're going to rule that as an error. I think they'll give him a double because he never touched the glove. It was clean. So Ibina with a cheap double. Oh, my goodness. That brings Kaito Mori to the plate. Mori 0 for 3 tonight. Batting 154 on the year, 4 for 26. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This is belted into deep right center field. This ball is going to get trouble, and this ball is going to get down. It's going to get all the way to the wall. BayStars are going to score a run. And being a rounding third and heading home, and sliding into third with a triple is Maury. And this has got an eerie feeling of last night all over again, as the BayStars have cut the lead now to 7-5. Holy man. I'm not sure what we're going to look to see here. We've had a couple of pinch hitters come to bat in different situations. It's been Watari and then Kyoto. Yes, this is the pitcher's spot in the batting order. So Kobayashi getting rocked here. Based on the mask worn by the third baseman, that looks like it's Futamata in at third. He was playing in center field last night. He had changed his masks. Looks like he's still got the black one on from late last night. This is going to bring the catcher to the plate. This is number 50. This is Yudai Yamamoto. And the first pitch to Yamamoto is swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. So Yamamoto here in the hole at 0-1. Runner at third is Maury. 1 run on the board. It is a 7-5 affair now, as Kobayashi kicks and delivers. Breaking ball misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. (7-5). Carp have the lead here, top of the 9th inning. It's almost like neither team wants to win the ball game. They just want to give it to somebody else. Here's the 1-1. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander working to the set. Here comes the pitch from Kobayashi, who kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, smoked down the left field line, but just hooked foul. Ho, Yamamoto was not fooled on that one. And outruns the count to 2-2. If you're just joining us, Carp had scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning to extend their lead to 7-4. BayStars with a double because the center fielder lost the ball in the sun, and a triple off the bat of Maury has cut the lead to 7-5. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, grounded over to third, bobbled by Futamata, picks it up, throws to first, but that's going to get a run across. It's going to be an RBI ground out here off the bat of Yamamoto. It's a ground out 5-3. That's going to cut the lead to 7-6. 1 out here. They're not out of the woods yet. It'll bring up the top of the order in Koki Kojiwara. So truthfully, there should be 2 out right now. But not so much in this case. So now they got a clean slate to work with here. But it's the top of the order in Kujiwara and Maki. So Kujiwara has had a tough day at the office, 0 for 4 tonight. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a split-finger pitch swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. And the always dangerous Shugo Maki waiting his turn on deck. So the tying runs are at the plate here. And the BayStars come back 2 nights in a row to tie it in the 9th. We're going to find out here shortly. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball that drops in for called strike, and it's now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. If we go another inning, I think we're going to need some toothpicks to keep our eyes open. So here comes the 0-2 pitch as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball, swung on and missed. Oh, it was a terrible pitch to swing at. They're going to have to throw down to first. It's going to be a strikeout, 2-3 to be the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to Shugo Maki. I guess if you're down by a run and you need somebody at the plate, Shugo Maki is probably your guy. Tyler Austin, probably another good option, who's not in the lineup tonight. If Maki got on, I wonder if Austin would be pinch hitting for Momori. So Kobayashi ready to face the right-handed hitting Maki here. With the 2 hits tonight, Mackey's raised his season average to 256. That's the right-hander ready to go. And now he kicks and delivers. Breaking ball drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. BayStars now down to their final out. As the 0-1 pitch set to come to Mackey here. And here comes the pitch. A split-figure pitch swung on and fouled away, and now they're down to their final striker, the BayStars. After this game is done, we'll give you a quick recap around the league, and then we'll call it a night. Top of the 9th inning, BayStars have cut the lead to 1, 7-6 for the Carp. If you took the over in tonight's game, you're grinning like the Cheshire Cat. Here's the 0-2 offering. It's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side, and the count remains at 0-2. I think if I'm Mackey, might as well just keep expecting a steady diet of the slop coming out of Kobayashi here. If you're Kobayashi, don't leave anything up in the zone. So no balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander gets himself poised, ready to deliver and the offering to Mackey. But now Mackey's going to step back as the game has been shipped between hitter and pitcher continue. And now the 0-2 pitch ready to go again here as the right-hander leans in, gets the sign from his catcher. Kobayashi holds set. Here comes the pitch. Kicks and delivers. Breaking ball swung on and lifted foul into the seats. On the first base side of home plate, the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander leaning in, getting the sign from his catcher Ishihara. He works himself to the set. Here comes the pitch. 0-2 on the way. Fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Shugo Maki at the plate here. Down by a run are the BayStars. Trying to get either a base runner to keep this one alive. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. As Kobayashi delivers a fastball that misses way upstairs. Good pitch to change the eye level of the hitter. Ball and 2 strikes it is here to Maki. Right-hander again gets the sign from his catcher. He works himself to the set. And here comes the 1-2. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field, but it's going to slice toward the foul line. And does he make the catch? Oh, yes, he does. Oh, nice catch there by the right fielder, Sekene. and that is going to end the ball game here. But the BayStars claw back, and they make a battle of it. 2 runs in the 9th inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was nobody left aboard. Your final score here in Hiroshima, it is the Carp 7 and the BayStars 6. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back to wrap this one up in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us tonight. Welcome back, everybody. Your final score tonight, 7-6 for the Carp over the BayStars. We'll take a look at the other games. We'll give you a recap of these, but we're calling it a night pretty quick here. Other games in the Central, 1-0 for the Tigers over the Giants. Dragons beat the Swallows 6-5. That was at the Jingu Stadium. In the Pacific League, it was the Buffaloes with another win, 6-4 over the Fighters. 4-0 for the Eagles over the Marines. And the Hawks beat the Lions 11-1. That was at the PayPay Dome in Fukuoka. Here in front of 29,812, the game lasted 3 hours and 16 minutes, and your final score was the Carp 7 and the BayStars 6. Once again, everybody, we appreciate you guys for listening in tonight. Going to try to get some sleep, and hopefully we can catch you guys later in the week. Thanks again to those who subscribed to the channel or who are new checking us out here tonight. Hopefully we can give you a better product a little bit later on where we can keep our eyelids bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Thanks again, everybody. Well, have a great night, and we will see you again later in the week.